Okay, we're going to take a look at the VSOE or bundling features built into MaxQ's recurring billing revenue recognition module. And the easiest way to start with to show this is I'm going to call up the standard inventory items maintenance out of the inventory module in Dynamics SL. And I'm going to call up a part that I've already configured. And I now can click on the VSOE button here. Now when I click on this button, it's going to show me that I have an inventory ID, VSOE in this case software bundle. It's a non-stock inventory item. And on that item, I have 3 components that comprise the bundle. So anytime I sell that particular item, I'm going to break down the revenue recognition into 3 components. In this case, it's installation, software, and maintenance. Now, installation has got a fixed amount of $1,000 per install and a revenue recognition type of installation, or install in this case. And we'll go through the revenue types in later detail, but in this example, the installation revenue would be recognized when the installation is completed. So that $1,000 will be assigned a revenue type of install and put on hold waiting for the installation to be done. Now software is going to be 80% of that value of the remaining dollars of the sale. So we subtract the fixed amounts first, in this case $1,000, and take 80% of the remainder of the software bundle sales price to come up with the revenue associated with software. In this case, it's going to use a revenue type of software, which is going to basically recognize the entire amount of that software to software dollars immediately as the bundle is sold. And then the last item of maintenance, which shows here I have 20%. Obviously, the rest of the percentage lines need to add to 100. So that is a maintenance item that will be sold, will have revenue associated with that recognized over 1/12. In this case, it happens to be maintenance agreement for a single year. Now let's see how VSOE would work in sales orders. So the point of the start of the relationship with the customer, in this case, we'll start off with a sales order. And I'm going to pick an order type, the recurring billing revenue recognition invoice type, and this will take it directly from a sales order into an invoice. I can choose any customer. And now I'm going to pick the same item that I had set up previously in the inventory master, and I'm going to order a quantity of 1. I'm going to save the sales order. Now the VSOE button is enabled, and it will make a copy of the setup from the inventory, from the master VSOE ID, and add it to this specific order number, line number relationship. I also can link that back to the master so that any changes made to the master will update this schedule on all of the order line combinations that have them linked. I also could have started with a blank form and loaded as a copy the master, optionally linking it to a different master, or just manually have typed this. So I have the option of staying with the standard one, creating it on the fly, adjusting what I want on there. So in this situation, we have the 3 items: installation, software, and maintenance, with $1,000 of the $11,000 being associated with installation, and that revenue is going to be recognized when the installation's done. We have software, which is going to be recognized 100% on the sale, and maintenance, which we're spreading out over the annual, in this case, a 12-month annual contract. Now, all I need to do is to click Finish to move this order along. I'm going to close the screen. I'm going to start Process Manager, another standard Dynamics SL function. This is normally running in the background, and this is now just going to generate a order management invoice for me and show it to the screen. And this invoice is going to be generated against the bundle line item that we entered on the sales order. When we finish this, it's going to then generate all of the sub-component schedules. So we can see here's the invoice, and we can see that we have the software bundle here for the $11,000. Let process managers finish that shipper. Close that out, and now I'm going to run the sales journal. Now the sales journal is another standard SL function, and its purpose is to post invoices to AR and to the general ledger, and in this case it's been modified to also process recurring billing items that need to have a contract generated for renewal or need to have the revenue recognition scheduled. So we can see the same invoice for $11,000 being booked here, and now it's going to post through AR and to GL, and then create the revenue recognition schedules that it need to for each of the component parts. Okay, so that just finished. Now we're going to go into the MaxQ's revenue recognition module. We're going to call the revenue recognition schedule maintenance, and we'll go to the last record. We can see it was for shipper 1116. In this case, it's the maintenance item, and we can see that the schedules were created, 12 schedules for $166.66 each, with the balance being plugged in the first month. $2,000 in total, which was 20% of the $10,000. Moving to the previous record, we can see software, 80% of the $10,000 that's recognized in the current period. And then I have the installation for $1,000. It's booked to this period, but it's been placed on hold. So this particular entry will not release and recognize revenue until you actually do the installation and change the status to open, and then it will be recognized. So there we can see how we created a standard bundle. We actually sold it through order entry, how to generate the individual components for the revenue recognition pieces of that bundle automatically from the setup. Okay, in this video we're going to show how we could add VSOE items right directly to a contract. So I'm going to go in and put a generate date in and click the edit distribution button, and I'm going to pick one of the software bundle as we've done previous in other videos, and I'm just going to ship the same item on there and close this. I'll save the order. I need to add a non-posting or have a valid project, and here when I come back and go to the edit distribution schedule, we can see there's a VSOE button which allows me to click, and I can maintain the same VSOE settings that we did before. I can link to the master similar to what we saw in order management. I have the same function that I have before. In addition, I can then go in and add additional line items or add other bundles if I need to have on one of those particular items out there. I also still have the option of summarize billing, so I could actually go in and bill against this description a single line item that would sum all those edit descriptions below it, and on the bill that the customer, the invoice the customer get, whether it be in AR or in order management, the summary billing would show a single line on there. So again, we've seen how the standard VSOE could get attached to an inventory item. The main VSOE schedule could be reused. We saw it being used directly and overridden in sales orders, as well as we now saw it used directly in a contract.